Guys, Netflix, United Airlines, 3M, all reported. I own 3M. We're going to talk about that. But first and foremost, they all beat on revenue and profit. Let's check out Netflix first to start. Netflix is up huge after hours. It was already up $11 to start the day. It's at $954. Remember, guys, Netflix right back here. Right back here. Look how low it got. $164, $162 a share at one point. That was the lowest it got. That's incredible. And that was only what, Mo?
That
June
was
of 22.
22? Yeah.
Yeah, June of 20. It's 2.5 years ago. And it is up from $165 a share. Stocks in the short run are a voting machine. In the long run, they're a weighing machine. Mo, they reported $428 per share, beating $420. And blaze up, and they reported $10.25 billion in revenue, beating $10.11 billion. This company did a great job of limiting the number of people who abuse and use the access to these accounts. And by the way, can I just vent about? No, let's just go into the Netflix thing. Maybe I'll vent on a personal issue here shortly, so people can see the psychotic part that is Paul. Mo, what's Netflix saying?
So I'm looking on X here. Netflix added 18.91 million subscribers in Q4, destroying expectations of 9.6 million. They also announced a new $15 billion share buyback program. That's
of course
awesome.
They did.
Of course
they reported that at 53 times price to free cash flow and 49 times earnings, which is now 10% higher. Good job.
Yep. Squid Games season 2 is on track to become one of the most popular series ever again.
You watched it, right?
I did. I watched it day one. It was awesome. Not as good as
season 1. Did you like it?
But it was good.
First of all, I couldn't even finish season 1 because I was so scared. It depressed me. I was literally watching it like all depressed. Like the guy's in gambling debt. He's doing all these things they're doing to get money, and I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna work for me. I got scared. And then my wife's like, "You're not gonna watch it with me?" I'm like, "Sorry, I ain't watching it. So you got to finish it on your own."
I don't know. I loved it. So the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight that was huge. Did you watch that, by the way?
I did.
Was it glitchy for you when you were watching it?
Very. I kept blaming myself. Funny thing is, I kept blaming myself. I'm like, God, our internet's what the hell's going on with the internet? All these routers. And then finally, my stepson Daniel's like, no, I'm reading on the internet. It's just this is what's happening with Netflix. But
now
we did watch that
Christmas Day.
They streamed Christmas Day on football, and it was flawless.
Perfect. And they have Monday Night Raw now. That is flawless every single time. They figured it out.
Isn't that what you call date night with your girlfriend?
Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, was that good?
That was pretty good.
Please rate that joke. That was pretty good. It was subtle.
That's pretty good.
Okay. So what else did they report? That's a huge crush on number of new memberships and signups.
So
that's incredible.
I can't find it in their press release here, but somebody, and they're going to, in about 30 minutes, they're going to be doing their press conference. I read that they're going to increase prices again.
Of course they are.
So that's something. I don't even know what I pay in Netflix. It just happens at this point.
Yeah, and they're cheering their success in sports. Let's see what else we're seeing here. Almost double what they were expecting.
Average paid members rose 15% year over year. That's really good.
God, 15%. That's incredible.
15% for having as many users as they have.
I know. That's
amazing.
What's amazing. They do a great job.
Yeah, where are they finding these people?
What show are we watching on Netflix? I don't think we're watching any show on Netflix right now. We just watch our regular rerun shows. I don't think there's any set show. Not Netflix, but on Paramount Plus, I started watching Landman. Have you started watching this, Mo?
No, not yet.
Have you heard of it?
It was good. Yeah, I heard of it. I heard of it last weekend, and then you said it, and I was like, oh, okay, I got to watch this show.
Last night I got home and I'm like, Landman, Lise, to my wife, and she's like, yeah, let's go. She's so pumped about it. She loves watching it. It's just a great show. It's really a lot of fun. Billy Bob Thornton's a very likable character, even though he's a curmudgeon. He's kind of like you, Mo. He's a curmudgeon, but he's a very likable guy.
I get that. I get that.
How you get that. Mo, why have you been such a curmudgeon lately, by the way?
I'm good. I'm Gucci.
You Gucci?
Trump won. Literally nothing in my life can get any better right now.
Okay. So anything else on Netflix? Because I'm looking at this, I'm looking at our 8 pillars here. I mean, it's got a lot of X's, 3 X's, 5 checks, buying back expensive shares. The argument be made, Paul, you probably thought it was expensive at $400 a share and they've bought back and those were good purchases. I get it. Look at this, Mo. 5-year return on invested capital, 10.6%. 1 year, 12.6%. Look at their free cash flow, skyrocketing to $7 billion in the last year. Can you look at what their free cash flow was last quarter in this quarterly report, Mo? Because I really want to see that, because let's see what they were in the same quarter last year. So it'd be September of 24, right? No, December of 24. Oh, that's what they're reporting here. Got it. So they reported free cash flow of around $1.6 billion in December of 23. So what did they report in December of 24? It's that quarter, whatever that quarter.
$7 billion right here.
Okay, so the fourth quarter free cash flow was lower than last fourth quarter, but still a great number. I guess they're going to start going away with subscriber numbers, and they're going to start emphasizing the metrics will become more important to the investment story going forward. The focus now shifts to better monetizing the ad tier, with likely live sports expansion and price increases boosting revenue and earnings. And their revenue is up 3% from the previous quarter. That's pretty solid for a company that's pretty effing large, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
All from a company that used to send you DVDs.
Yeah, exactly. They're expecting to do, let's see here. What was that number? $43.5 to $44.5 billion in 2025.
Wowzer. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is Netflix. Anything else to say, Mo, before I go on to United Airlines?
I don't think so. Let's go to United.
United Airlines is up 4% after hours after reporting $3.26 per share in profit versus expectations of $3.03 and revenue of $14.7 billion, beating $14.4 billion. It is up big after hours. 4% after being up 3% earlier today. Is it all-time high? Very close.
Really?
Nope, it's all-time high. No, it's all-time high.
Wow.
It's all-time high. YOLO, bro. YOLO. All-time high. Good job to United Airlines. And current PE of 13, current price of free cash flow of 120. That's sick. Good return on invested capital this last year. You know, it's an airline. It struggled back in COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Airlines are a tough business. I own Southwest as a long-term play because I think their margins, if you look at the margins here in United Airlines, they reported, what's the margin they reported on this $3.03? What's that margin, Mo? Do you know? Like, what was the revenue and actual profit? The revenue was $14.7 billion. So what did they? So they have $3.26 on shares outstanding of 329 million. So it's roughly $1 billion in profit on 14.7. So what is that? 6.7%. So that's my thesis on Southwest. Their revenue, their profit is historically 10 to 15%, and they're in the low single digits. United crushes it when they're in the mid to high single digits. So United's been a tough airline. Airline business in general is very tough, very capital intensive. Let's see how capital intensive it is. Oh my God, look at this, Mo. Look at the free cash flow numbers here. Look at these capital expense numbers. $6 billion last year, $7.2 billion last year, 4.8, 2, 1.7, 4.3, 4, 3.9, big capital expenditure numbers. It's a hard business. It takes a lot of money to operate those businesses. It takes a lot of money to do that.
You said they're at all-time highs. They are going to be repurchasing approximately $81 million worth of shares, over $1.4 billion remaining in the current authorization.
Okay, so guys,
that's good.
If you're new to the channel, we have a principle-driven investing approach, which means a multitude of things, which along the way means every investment's a present value for all future cash flow. And you might sit there and say, Paul, it's a good thing they're buying back shares because it gives me more cash flow for every share I own. I get that. But that money that's in that bank account that they're spending, they're investing in themselves. If it's not a good investment because stock is too expensive, it's no different than you having the cash and investing it somewhere erroneously and frivolously. So the same thing here. We want them buying back cheap shares. A lot of great companies like AutoZone, NVR, O'Reilly Automotive, they've bought back cheap shares and absolutely skyrocketed shareholder value. I don't know if this is the right move or not. It's probably not, but people love hearing dividends. People love hearing stock repurchases. Mo, anything in the metrics that they're telling you that sounds interesting?
Not really. I'm just looking at some of their numbers here. They carried 174 million passengers last year, 4,340 daily flights. They are going to be bringing SpaceX's Starlink to 1,000 of their planes or 1,000 of their aircrafts, which is pretty cool.
I've been hearing about that for a while.
Yeah.
So I used to only fly United, but now that we are going to Atlanta and Dallas more, I'm basically an American and Delta guy.
That's fun.
What about you?
Well, how do you compare them? I'm still mostly a United person, but admittedly, I like Delta way more.
I like Delta. I like American. I like United. United has a bad customer service rep, from what I understand, but even like the Polaris Lounge going international.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So funny you say that. In the fourth quarter, they achieved, this is in the customer experience section, they achieved a 6% year-over-year increase of customers providing a perfect score of the customer satisfaction. So maybe getting better.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's great to hear. Those are, by the way, for those of you out there, those customer service surveys are very important. And I used to work in the car business, and they would always say to people, if we don't get it perfect, we fail. That's very important. Pardon me, it's very important to understand that. So if you care to just not be a curmudgeon all the time and not just only complain when something's bad, give credit where credit is due. I give a Google review every month, a positive Google review every single month. I actually, on my Google reviews, have over 90% of my Google reviews are 5-star reviews. Because I think that people just give a lot of negativity out there. So go reward the companies. Stock number 3 is a company that I own, 3M. They crushed it. Also, let's see what they're doing after hours. Are they down? We don't have a report after hours. Why is that? They reported this morning. Thank you very much, Tim. They were finished the day up 4%. This is a company. Oh my God, it's at 146. If you'd asked me to guess where it's at, I was going to say 115 to 120. And you might sit there and say, Paul, how do you not know what stock you own? I'm like, that's where I want you to get to, guys. I don't even look at my stocks. I don't look at them at all. In fact, I was telling my brother and Mo the other day, there's a comedian named Bobby Lee, and he is freaking hilarious. I was watching it. Do you know him, Nick? Bobby Lee is the best. He's so funny. He was telling people that he doesn't pay attention to how much money he makes, how much money he has. He tells the financial guy, just pay my bills. Don't tell me how much I have. Just let me know if I'm running out of money. So he asked his financial guy, if I didn't want to work anymore, how long could I not work for? He's like, a very, very, very long time. And I joked to them, I said, I need to do this because I've seen that when people look at their accounts so much, they just get attached to these ups and downs. All these stocks that like 3M, Mo, I was buying 3M at like $80 or something.
88, I think. Yeah.
Maybe. And by the way, I'm not saying the market's up a lot, so I'm not going to take credit for that. But I'm looking at going, okay, all these stocks that I have, they're up a ton. I'm just like, great, that's awesome. But at the end of the day, what matters to me is where are they going to be in 10 years? And 3M might be a lot right now, but is it going to be there in 10 years? I don't know. Look how low it got.
Oh, yeah. 52-week high today, huh?
Yeah, it had 150 on the nose, huh?
Wow.
Oh, wait, it got really high today, so it must have pulled back quite significantly.
It's amazing how many 52-week highs we had in the market today.
Really?
I mean, if you come to my screen, I'm on this guy's X page. I mean, I'm not going to read them all, but look at how many there are. There's probably 30.
Are these only S&P companies?
Only S&P companies, yeah.
Wow. Strong like bull. Strong like bull. Well, Mo and I keep buying. We keep doing things. By the way, I should tell you the numbers on 3M. They reported $1.68, beating $1.66. They reported $5.81 billion in revenue, beating $578 in revenue. $5.78 billion. Guys, 3M is not a grower. It's a shower. They've got a very healthy dividend that people love. It's actually been pulled back a little bit. Their free cash flow was hit from settling all these lawsuits. Their return on invested capital was hit from settling all these lawsuits. But they're currently selling for 18 times their 5-year price of free cash flow. I think I lost Mo in my... Oh, no, I hear you now.
I'm here.
110 times last year's free cash flow. That's significantly down. 5-year PE is 28. 1-year PE is 18.5. Gross margin, 45%. Total profit margin, 8.8 in the last 5 years. 12.7 this past year. Look at this growth rate, Mo. It's nothing. This company is not a grower. nothing.
It's so funny. I'm looking and trying to see if I can like find something to tell you. Everything's up or down like 0.1% on year over year. That's just how they are.
It's a boring ass company.
Yeah.
It's a boring ass company. And that's where we are. Yeah. But guys, boring ass companies can make you a lot of money if everybody thinks they're boring and the price stays down.
Here you go. One more thing.
What you got?
3M returned $1.1 billion to shareholders via dividends and share repurchases.
I like that. In the last quarter?
In the last quarter. Now that makes sense, right?
That makes sense from a cheap stock perspective.
Correct.
I wish they were doing it back at the end of 23, though, more.
Exactly. Should have been doing it back then.
The stock was half. Mm-hmm. All-time high for 3M was 217 back in 2018.
Dang.
January, actually I think it was January 1st. No, January of 2018, all-time high of January 26, 217.19. Incredible. Guys, this channel is dedicated to giving you news in the markets. We love talking about these reports, but guess what? These reports don't matter in the long run. The short run is just a voting machine. What we care about is, are these companies going to be around for a long period of time? Is their revenue and profit going to be around and bigger in that time period? We talk about principle-driven investing. Every investment is the present value of all future cash flow. When you buy a stock, you're buying a piece of a business. And there are 3 more that we cover on this channel. If you like it, subscribe. If you don't like it, I don't care. Thank you for your time.